Hello, good evening. Let's take a look at Ripple because we've had the judge's decision finally on this lawsuit. It was a split decision. It's one that most lawyers I know weren't expecting. So I do think that it could be appealed. So we need to be a little bit careful, but no doubt at the moment that this is a victory for Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse. But it was a split decision. So basically the lawsuit was about whether Ripple was a security or not. And there's a very old law about whether something is a security called a Howey test, which requires three things. It's a security if it's a scheme where people invest money in a common enterprise, part 2. And the third part is that it's led to expect profits solely from the efforts of the promoter or the third party or the person organising or selling it. And the judges ruled that all of Ripple's institutional sales. So Ripple was pre-mined, and then a huge chunk, almost $1 billion worth, was sold to institutional investors. And the judge ruled that that was a security because they knew they were investing in Ripple and that they were going to earn profits from that. But the judges ruled that the sales that were on exchanges to ordinary investors like us who were not in that institutional pre-sale were not security sales. So when Garlinghouse, for example, sold his Ripple token privately on exchange, that wasn't a security. And so that means that exchanges can continue to sell Ripple on their thing. But, you know, $1 billion of illegal security sales puts the company in a really bad position. And if you consider that the value of the Ripple token is really based on the value of the Ripple Labs, you know, that's not a good scenario. Also, because most lawyers don't seem to agree that about the reasoning for why she said that the sales on exchanges were not securities. They think that that part of it can be appealed because they think that but they think retail buyers of the token who bought it on exchanges were also thinking that when they bought a Ripple token, they were investing in Ripple Labs, or it was an investment in the company as well. So I kind of agree, you know, if you're going to say that that the token itself was a security, then I don't think where you bought it as an institutional in a lump sum or on an exchange makes any difference. So I would not be surprised if that's appealed, but at the moment it's a pretty nice win for Ripple. Now, the problem is that because she's based her decision on how you bought it, it leaves an awful lot of other coins vulnerable to being securities as well. For example, Ethereum was pre-mined and sold to institutional investors. So under this judge's reasoning, all those institutional sales of Ethereum were also security sales. So I'm not sure how this is going to hold up because there's no clarity. There really isn't any clarity unfortunately, for other tokens, and certainly not other tokens that were sold in lumps to hedge funds or big investors. So that's where we are with Ripple. Let's take a look at the chart. Now, I've put a weekly chart on here and zoomed all the way out. Now let's go to a monthly chart and let's take everything off and have a look. This move here, this higher low, this rally here, for me, has gone far enough and above these moving averages for this to be counted as a bottom, unless we have a really nasty close that comes all the way back. And we could have that if the SEC announce that they are appealing. Now, I have put my fib swings from this high to this low, and you can see where we stalled from the all-time high to low was at the 236 fib level. And there's a big cluster of resistance around here. So 87 basically, between all around 87, between 87 and 80.85 and 0.87 is key resistance. It's also from this most recent swing 50%, and from this high to this low it's the 38.2. So important resistance then, and from here we could fall back to 0.7. If we fall back to 0.7 and hold 0.7, that would be bullish in this zone, somewhere between 0.68 and 0.71. These are unfortunately kind of wider bands of support, and it's not clear which swing we're looking at yet, which most market participants are looking at. But I'm going to say pretty firmly, I think underneath 0.68 we are likely to retrace at least 50% of this move, and potentially all the way back, to 0.4. So don't let it go back underneath 0.71 if you're long-term holding for a bigger swing in Ripple. Now, I think when it trades on Coinbase, I think it will go up. So pullbacks should be bought, but we should expect the SEC to appeal. So just be careful and watch out for that. So let's talk about then where we go if we get above this resistance at 0.87. Well, I think we're going to do a bigger ABC higher. But we can talk about where we're, where it's all over, game over for Ripple. So first of all, if this is an ABC lower, then you know that this 61.8, which was like a proper tough resistance zone down here, 0.51, if we come all the way back, 0.51 is where we could come back to. So we need to be a little bit careful. Let's do this the other way though, and project if we are going to go higher, if Coinbase and Genesis and all those exchanges allow trading, we could get that lovely Bitcoin Cash effects, because there are not many coins that have been declared okay to trade and not securities in the US, and Ripple will become one of them for US investors. So it will have that BCH effect where it's one of the few that they can trade if this holds up. So that's pretty good news. So let's talk about this swing. From low to high, down to here. First upside target then is up here at 0.43. So if we can break above 0.87, if we can break above and hold above 0.87, our first upside target is 1.43. That's where 61.8 of this first string, it's this previous high. If I put these fibs on this swing here, it's going to be the 61.8. There we go. Messy 61.8. Lots to like then at 1.43. Next on the upside, if we can hold above 0.87, we basically will double our money. And then the second upside target will be 2.13. And that's where we will have this as a big giant ABC equal measured move. So key level that we're looking to hold above here is 0.71. We might not fall back there straight away, but if the SEC announce that they are appealing, we could see a little bit of a dip back, and we should expect that. At the moment though, I have to say it looks strong. Just this is key resistance, 0.87. So 0.87, above it, we're going much higher, 1.4. Underneath 0.71, we could do a big 50% retrace, so watch out for that. Okay, let's talk about Bitcoin, because pretty much everything rallied on the news, well, except Litecoin, of course. Good grief, Litecoin. But Bitcoin certainly did. And here we are back at the top of our sideways range in Bitcoin. If I put regular candles on, unfortunately, it's looking like another false breakout, isn't it, at the top of the range. Now, this is still bullish sideways consolidation. The problem is it's a wave 4, and that means, whereas normally a wave 2 will be 3 waves one way or another, quite often in a wave 4 it's 5 waves, and so it takes a long time going sideways. So not a breakout yet, which is what I wanted to see if we could hold. It could turn into a bigger one though. I think if Ripple keeps going, Bitcoin probably could keep going as well. I just want everyone to be aware it's not the complete, resounding victory that we needed it to be. But Bitcoin is not a security, never will be, and it's the one we want. Okay. So I understand that Ripple has just gone live on Coinbase. Okay, that's bullish. It's just gone live on Coinbase, so you can trade it on Coinbase. That is bullish because it means that US traders have access to one more coin, and they don't have very many. So that's good news. Okay, when we look at other altcoins, we can see some really nice moves. Here's MATIC, one of the ones that's also, here's a really interesting coin. Now, in MATIC, this is a daily chart of MATIC. We're bouncing from this 786 fib, and we need to hold above this 61.8 to confirm the reversal. Then we have a nice upside target of this 38.2, but actually I think that we can go further than this to the 236 at 127. So 1.08 and 1.27 are the upside targets. If we can hold above 0.79 and it's not just a false breakout in MATIC, and I think it's looking really good, but we're going to come back and retest this support. So buying pullbacks and MATICs for a really nice swing. 0.79 is where we do not want to close above, and 1.27 is the upside target, first one for that, and there are quite a few looking like this. This one is not one of them, unfortunately, but send me all of your requests and we will take a look at them. Solana is another coin that I think that could really benefit from this. We've been really bullish Solana, remember, because we thought this was a big ABC, and our breakout level in Solana was here at 24, and it looks like we've broken out. So if Solana can hold above 24 even, our upside target is 31. So we're going to look for pullbacks. So far, we're not that far away from the close. I think we are. So we're going to buy a 3-wave pullback against this level, and I don't think it's going to be a big pullback. But as long as we don't close back underneath 24 on a 4-hour close, we are going higher to 31 next in Solana. First target. Second target, of course, is 42, which would be amazing. Double. That would be a really nice bullish target. So looking really good. We have got a wobble level in the middle at 31, but the upside target, yeah. Whenever you get these, if we're going to fail, right, these previous highs will be where we fail, and then we'll close back underneath this support level. But otherwise, the equal measured move level 31, next wobble level higher. And that would mean that this is just, corrective, unfortunately, rather than a bigger bottom. But look, above the weekly 50 moving average, looking really nice in Solana as well. Okay, if there's any other requests, send them over, and